What is going on, Trash Talkers? We are back with another episode for you. In today's video, we're going to give you our Super Bowl 57 predictions. All that and much more coming your way right now! All right, before we get into today's video, be sure to hit that subscribe button and like the video as it will help us out tremendously. So sit back, relax, and enjoy today's video. All right, Nick, we have gone through all 32 season previews, including record predictions. We have gone through every single team leading up to this point. We are at the training camp mark, and that means we have to go over our playoff predictions, including the winner of Super Bowl 57. I think this is going to be relatively similar up until we get to the final winner. But Nick, why don't you take a look at this bracket that we have here, the NFC, the AFC. We have all of our playoff teams readily available, ready to go. And Nick, why don't we start off with the NFC, taking a look at the bracket we have here. What are your thoughts on the 7-2 seed matchup, the Packers and the Eagles?
I think with the Packers and the Eagles, this is going to be a very interesting matchup to see if the Philadelphia Eagles have improved off of last season, not being able to get past the Bucs last year. The Green Bay Packers trying to prove that they have the weapons necessary to get past some of the best teams that the NFC has to offer. And this is going to be a tough matchup, but at the end of the day, I think the additions of A.J. Brown and guys like James Bradberry on the defense are just too big. The veteran knowledge is too much, and it's going to be enough to get past the Green Bay Packers in this matchup.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think that the Eagles are a much better off team to win this game. Moving down the list, though, we have the Cowboys versus the Buccaneers. This is the third time in 2 years that these two teams will be playing, as they will be playing in the regular season this year, and we have them here in the playoffs. I think that the Buccaneers are going to take this one. I believe that Tampa Bay has what it takes to get over the hump that is the Dallas Cowboys. Truly and honestly, I do not believe in the Dallas Cowboys this season. I think that they are losing a lot when they lost Amari Cooper. Jerry Jones saying that he wants the offense to run through Zeke is not indicative of what we're seeing offenses do in 2022. I think it's going a step backward for the Dallas Cowboys. They are losing things here, and it's not going to be pretty against Tom Brady and company. Moving on, we have the numbers 5 and 4 seed, the Saints and the Vikings. Nick, what are your thoughts on this one?
When we take a look at the New Orleans Saints taking on the Minnesota Vikings, we look at what the Minnesota Vikings offer being in their home stadium. I think that's going to go a long way. But the difference maker is when this New Orleans defense takes over, they're not going to have the same issues that the Vikings defense will with the opposing offense. The Vikings offense has a lot to offer, and they're going to be tough to keep up with, but that secondary for the Minnesota Vikings will not be able to keep up with Michael Thomas and Chris Olave and every other weapon that the Saints are offering. To me, they are just a better overall team and will get past this matchup.
All right, the first upset in these playoffs, we have the Saints over the Rams in this one. Moving over to the AFC, we have the 7-2 seed Patriots versus Chargers. This is a rematch that we have seen time and time again, where Bill Belichick has actually had the number of the Los Angeles Chargers over the last 5 years. And Nick, taking a look at this matchup, what are your thoughts on the Patriots Chargers in the wild card?
In this matchup, I think the New England Patriots are a dark horse team, but Bill Belichick could always have something up his sleeve. Nonetheless, the additions of Khalil Mack and J.C. Jackson were just the right additions necessary for the Chargers to get ahead of the competition in the AFC, and I think that they're going to have a lot of success of being in Los Angeles, taking on this Patriots team, and I don't think that Mac Jones and company are quite there to keep up with Justin Herbert.
I agree 100%. I think that the Patriots definitely have a chance in this one, as we've seen, but the Los Angeles Chargers have clearly gone out and gotten the pieces that they needed to compete with every other team. Moving on, we see this number 6 seed Kansas City Chiefs taking on the number 3 seed Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals, who are just a year removed from their Super Bowl appearance, and I have to say, I believe that the Cincinnati Bengals are the stronger team in this one. The Kansas City Chiefs took a huge step back, losing Cheetah, Tyreek Hill, and although they added some key figures and key weapons for Patrick Mahomes to work with, Juju Smith-Schuster being the top of that list, I believe that the Chiefs defense will be the ultimate letdown for them in this one. Joe Burrow to Jamar Chase and Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins, all of these guys are going to just prove to be a little too much for the Chiefs defense. I have the Bengals winning this one.
And in our last wild card matchup, we have the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Tennessee Titans. With the addition of Devontae Adams, him pairing back with his old college quarterback Derek Carr, that's a lot to take on. And then when you pair him with what was already there, Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow, these are some major weapons that I think that the whole package is just going to be too much for Tennessee to take on. That is a young defense, a young secondary, and I just don't think they'll be able to keep up in the high pressure situation.
All right, so we have our wild card set. Moving on to the divisional round, we see that the number 2 seed Eagles take on Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. Yet another rematch of last year's playoffs. And Nick, you talked about it earlier. I think that the Philadelphia Eagles made some great strides in what is adding to this roster, really getting Jalen Hurts the weapons that he needs, and then fixing up this defense, adding players like Jordan Davis and James Bradbury to this stout defense, really making things difficult for Tom Brady and company. But I believe that Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Julio Jones, Russell Gage, it's all going to prove to be just too much for the Philadelphia Eagles to handle, and I believe Tom Brady will be on a warpath to get back to his final Super Bowl.
And then when we switch over, we have the Saints taking on the Los Angeles Rams. Now, the Saints have made a lot of improvements this offseason, but the Los Angeles Rams are still the Los Angeles Rams, and Aaron Donald is there with Jalen Ramsey, and got Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp. The recipe is there. We saw this work last year, and now they have even more chemistry this season. That's just a little too much for the Saints to take, and I have the Rams making their way to the NFC Championship once again.
All right, the NFC Championship game is set. Heading on over to the AFC, we see that the Los Angeles Chargers are taking on the Cincinnati Bengals in what should be a fiery offensive matchup. This is going to be two quarterbacks really going head-to-head. Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, really knowing what it takes to get there. And I believe that the wild card will be the Los Angeles Chargers offense being able to consistently stay on the field. Austin Eckler going to be that guy that sets them apart. And then we can't talk enough about how Khalil Mack will be able to get after Joe Burrow. I understand that this offensive line has vastly improved this offseason, but Khalil Mack is a different story. He is a game wrecker in and of himself, and he is hungry for his first Super Bowl appearance. I fully expect that the Los Angeles Chargers will be able to beat out the Cincinnati Bengals.
And then moving over to the Raiders taking on the Buffalo Bills. The Bills having that bye week. I don't even think they need that. They are just the better team. With Josh McDaniels taking over the Las Vegas Raiders, he knows what it takes to get far into the playoffs. But it was always Bill Belichick that got them the full way. I don't think Josh McDaniels can do that in his first year. And I think the Bills know him too well and will take advantage of that knowledge and will make their way to the AFC Championship game.
All right, NFC set, AFC set. We have 4 teams left. Nick, why don't you start us off with the NFC? Buccaneers, Rams, who you got in this one?
Yeah, when we take a look at the Buccaneers and the Rams, this was the NFC Championship game from last year, and we saw that the Los Angeles Rams got the job done on the road in Tom Brady's arena. Now we see the flip side, Tom Brady trying to make it back to the Super Bowl, and I think that Tom Brady is coming back this year for a reason, and he is not letting anything get in his way. He gets the job done on the road. Tom Brady making his 11th Super Bowl appearance, trying to win it one more time before he rides off into the sunset.
And then looking at the AFC, we have the number 2 seed versus the 1 seed, the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are in rarefied territory as they have been here before. They were here in this point last year, and all of it went away just because their defense couldn't hold up for 12 more seconds. The fact remains that the Los Angeles Chargers have a potent offense and a really stellar defense, but the Bills have a better offense and better defense all around. I believe that Josh Allen has what it takes to take this team over the hump and get them into Super Bowl 57. All right, with the stage set, we have Super Bowl 57 ready to go. Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. Nick, I'm going to let you go first and make your prediction.
When taking a look at the Buccaneers and the Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl, Tom Brady taking on an old enemy of his that he has had a ton of success against. And we've seen Josh Allen make incredible improvements over the last few years, just making it short last year. To me, this is the year where Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills get that sweet revenge over Tom Brady. Tom Brady will not get the job done in his last attempt at a Super Bowl ring. To me, Tom Brady falls just short. The veteran experience isn't there, and the team falls apart just like it did last year. It's not going to be enough to get past the almighty Buffalo Bills.
See, this is where I disagree, because when you take a look at the team that Tom Brady has built down in Tampa Bay, it is built to win this game. We have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, who have already been there and done it before with him in Super Bowl 55. We have Julio Jones, who was very close to getting a Super Bowl ring in and of himself with the Atlanta Falcons, 28-3. However, we need to see this defense step up, and with Todd Bowles at the helm, I believe that they're going to get it done. If you remember back to last year, the Los Angeles Rams barely squeaked by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers simply because the defense let them down, because Bruce Arians made some terrible decisions. Now it's all over. It's time to get past that, and Tom Brady is coming back with a vengeance. There is nobody I trust more than Tom Brady on a warpath, and I believe that he's going to get it done in what will be his final season, riding off into the sunset with his 8th Super Bowl title, doubling that of Joe Montana.
I think that's going to be the only thing we actually agree on, this being Tom Brady's last season. But at the end of the day, the Buffalo Bills will be reigning supreme.
Yes, I believe Tom Brady will take care of the Buffalo Bills once again in his illustrious NFL career. But I want to hear from you guys. Let us know in the comments down below. Let us know if you agree with our playoff predictions all the way to the Super Bowl. Let us know who you think will win Super Bowl 57. All right, well, that's going to be all for now. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. We go live every single day. That'll be all. Peace and love.